Hey viewers, Wicked Witch 11, your Saturday host for The Witch's Voice. This week our topic is ancestors and how do we honor them. Okay, so I honor my ancestors on a daily basis, basically every day. It is very important for me to honor my ancestors because my ancestors come first. My ancestors are the most important area of my craft and the most important beings to honor, respect, worship, and feed, basically. My ancestors come before my God and Goddess. Yes, I said it. My ancestors come before my God and Goddess. The reason why is because my ancestors are my bloodline. And they are the ones who are going to protect me, and they are the ones who are going to provide the knowledge and the wisdom behind the whispers. And basically they come to me before my God and Goddess. So that's why they are first. In the spirit religions of the world, such as Santeria, Palo, all the denominations of voodoo actually honor their ancestors, and their ancestors come first. The reason why is because, once again, it is your bloodline. And in Santeria, there is a saying that says that the death came before the saint, and the death gave birth to the saint. So you cannot skip that step. You cannot skip your ancestors and go straight to the gods. There is no skipping steps. You must go through your ancestors in order to reach the gods. And the gods cannot interfere in your life or get into your head without your ancestors' permission. So, those are the beliefs of these spirit traditions and these spirit religions. And that's the way that I practice, because I come from a Caribbean background and I am Puerto Rican, so that's my background and my practice. And that's the way that I honor my ancestors. My ancestors have their own place, their own shrine. I talk to my ancestors on a daily basis. I say good morning, I say good night. I give them offerings, things that my ancestors liked when they were alive. I provide that in their altars. I don't provide offerings every single day if I can't, but I make sure at least once a week I have something to offer my ancestors. If not only a prayer or just talking to them during the day. It is very important to me because my ancestors came first, and they must be honored and must be respected. Now, I know that Wiccans actually honor their ancestors on Samhain, October 31st, when the veil between the worlds is actually at its thinnest, and they can communicate with their recently departed loved ones, which is perfectly fine. And if you are Wiccan, then by all means continue that tradition and stick to what you know. I am very big in telling people to stick to what they know, because once you step into the unknown, into something that you don't know, and you try to incorporate it into your practice without actually having no knowledge of what it takes and how dangerous things are, you could be in danger. And it is very important to be very careful about what you get yourself into. Just because you are honoring your ancestors does not mean that you are completely 100% safe. You must be protected at all times, because once you invite your ancestors into your home and into your life, you're also inviting other spirits, other muertos, other entities that may pose as your ancestors. So you must really be careful about what you're doing before you actually do it. One thing I like to say is that if you're not going to commit to honoring your ancestors on a daily basis, meaning every day, giving them respect, talking to them, giving them offerings, going to the altar and talking about your day, basically. If you're not going to commit to doing that every single day without forgetting and not looking at the altar for 10 days or 2 weeks or a month and then come being like, oh, my ancestors all of a sudden, and coming to them, then don't do it. Because if you start feeding your ancestors, if you start honoring your ancestors and you completely stop out of nowhere, you're going to have angry ancestors and angry spirits, and things will fall apart in your life quicker than a blink of an eye. Things will start going crazy. Things will be flying across the room. Things will be shattering against the wall. You will go crazy. So make sure that if you are honoring your ancestors, you are consistent with your honors and with your reverence. It is not something that you set up just to have it pretty and be able to say, I honor my ancestors because I have an ancestor shrine. If you're not feeding them, if you're not having a relationship, if you're not talking to them every day, if you're not feeding them every day, if you're not taking the time out of your day to talk to them and just have that me and my ancestors time, then you're not basically doing anything or any good at all. So again, if you do not practice or are not part of any of the spirit religions and you would like to honor your ancestors, be very careful and think very hard before doing anything that you don't know about. Again, if you're Wiccan, then stick to honoring your ancestors on Samhain because that's safe for you. But if you would like to honor your ancestors the way that the spirit religions do, then you can actually do that. And if you're going to commit, then by all means go ahead and do it. It's perfectly fine. What you'll need, it's the simplest things. So you'll need a table that you need to be cleansed and consecrated. You can either do it with Florida water or holy water from a Catholic church. Yes, a Catholic church. There is power behind the holy water from the church, and you must use it. Once you have that done, white tablecloth, white pillar candle, or the ones that come in glass, like 7-day glass candles, have it be white. White actually attracts the spirits. It is a beacon of light. Have a list of your ancestors and written down on a paper and slip it under the candle. Once you burn this candle, and this candle you're not going to dress or do anything to it, you're just going to light it. Once you light this candle with the paper with the names written under it, it's going to summon them and bring them to that space. If you don't know your ancestors, then just basically create a prayer that states that you would like to honor your ancestors, known and unknown. You can actually use those words or create your own. If you do know your ancestors and you have pictures of your ancestors, place them on your altar. If you knew that your grandmother was a chain smoker, put a box of cigarettes on your altar. If your grandmother wore a hairpin that you inherited, place that on your altar because that would create that energetic link to that spirit. Meditate before you create your altar because you will want your ancestors to let you know how they want their altar to be. Don't create your ancestor shrine or ancestor altar the way that you want to have it, because once again, it is not about you, it is about them. What else? Yeah, I think that's it, basically. Just be very careful with what you decide to do. Again, if you're not going to commit, just skip it all together. It is better that way, instead of just having an ancestor shrine that you dedicate a week or two and then completely forget about it, and then you have crazy activity, spirit muerto activity in your house, and then you're not able to deal with it, and then you will have to find people like me to come and fix it and help you out. So prevent these type of situations, and just sit down and think about whether you will have the time to commit to this, or if you don't. And if you don't, then it's completely fine. You don't have to. This is not an obligation. This is not something you must do. It is only a requirement if you do follow the spirit religions of the world, and I've mentioned them at the beginning of this video. If you are not part of any of these traditions, and these traditions actually require initiation, so think about that as well. So yeah, honor your ancestors. They are there for a reason, and in my background and in my religion and in my practice, they come first. So honor your ancestors. And that's all for me this week. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, blessings.